Righty ho, so we have an interesting lot for you today. It's going to be, at least for this one, two videos. There might be another one later, it depends on if I can find the replay for it. Um, this is going to be an interesting game in that, or the both of them are, in that it's the whole same game but from two different perspectives thing. This is going to be from my perspective first, and then from Waffle's perspective. We are both in Minotaurs. I'm in a normal Minotaur. Waffle is in a Minotaur. And yeah, I'd like to think that we did pretty well. Like, we had a decent impact on the actual game itself. But that's for you lot to decide. That's not for us. So we decide to go off to A. And I'd say this was the correct choice, in all honesty. Now, as with all things, we do make some mistakes here. And I will point out the first mistake that we make, when this happens. But, yeah, there's that. So as a few points of note, just whilst the game kind of progresses into actually stuff happening. First off, if my voice seems a bit off, I think I'm developing a bit of a sore throat, so it might sound a bit funny as a result. Very dry and all. Next up, we're getting very close to like the 100 subscribe mark. I wish. The 100 follower mark on the Twitch. So, with that said, when we get there, well, I think we're like two or three away or something, like 98, 93, 97 or something like that. So, when we do get to that 100 mark, we're planning on a big, proper, fancy, 12-hour stream thing. So if that floats your boat, have at it. Because that's something we'll be doing when we hit the 100 mark. So if that's something you lot like the sounds of, pop over to the Twitch, and I should be live a little bit later. So yeah, if we can get that 2 more, then we'll be doing something big. Well, not too big, but still 12-hour stream, fairly chunky. With that said, though, the game has now commenced, good and proper. So we take a few pot shots at that Moskva. That was risky, but not really a mistake. We didn't get anything from it, but we didn't really lose anything either, other than, well, several shells. So the Moskva is now radaring. Unfortunately, our shimmy he's taking a fair bit of damage as a result, but he is not going to die. Not yet, anyways. Probably. Actually, I think he does, just not immediately. Waffle Radar's thinking he might catch the gearing or the small and skin that smoke. Unfortunately not. And this is where I make this mistake that I mentioned earlier. Now, I'm kind of thinking, I'll get into this shimmy smoke. Saves me having to use my smoke. However, I get spotted in the process. And that's a Moskva. Fortunately, it's HE. But that could have been a lot worse had he been using the correct shell type. I mean, to be fair, other than the DD, he'd want AP for pretty much everything else here anyways, so, With that said, though, we fire off some torpedoes, and yeah, we will see if those make it home. This currywurst is annoying. He's managed he manages quite a few good, blind shots on me. Like, a little lower, that would have been probably a Citadel, I'd reckon. He gets another one, just what looks like an overpen. all in the meanwhile, we're like just burning this well, not burning this Moskva, but you get the idea. He gets another chunk on us, and we get a torpedo on the Moskva. Now, no flooding,
Smoke generator started.
but I will take it. But he's down to basically nothing health-wise now. He's healing, I think. No, he's not. He does knock out one of our rear guns, and that's fine. And he does radar. But that doesn't really last very long. So now there's this Goliath who seems to really just not be moving really very much at all. We use our heal to print us back half a ship. And we're very soon going to put up our hydro. Because there was a smoke screen over there, and smoke screens usually tend to be quite angry and throw torpedoes. And the Haragumo's torpedoes, they're not the best, but they do kind of sting. So I would rather not take any, at all. But we're going to reverse into the cap to help Waffle here. And somehow Waffle gets spotted, whereas I don't. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Or maybe he only gets spotted momentarily. I don't know. I mean, I would have thought I'd have gotten spotted first. But he pops the radar. And in doing so, he spots the Haru. I'm not sure what this Haru is doing. He's smoking in front of a radar. It's like, well, all that means is now that, well, we can see you and you can't see us, so... Okay. So we're gonna fire some shells off. He gets a bit melted. We've not done very well here so far, like, in terms of landing shots, somehow. There's been the thing in the game for a while, hasn't there, where, it just doesn't... The shells don't really land where they should. And then he gets unspotted, and we're thinking, oh, shit. However, it turns out we got him. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking, right, well, we're 2 caps down. We need to fix that. I'm going to go and get B. And I kind of left Waffle to do his own thing. Because the idea here is not necessarily to, not to do the usual Minotaur thing where you have one in smoke and one not. So we didn't plan on doing that, and so that's fine. We will, this is a good island for this kind of a good map for this kind of stuff, because there's a fair bit in the way of islands. So with that, we do in fact decide to kind of split off here. Because we need a cap. We need at least a cap. No, we already have a cap. But okay, I'm here all night. So we've already got 1 cap. What we don't have is 2, and there are only 3 to begin with. So we can't really have them being at a cap advantage. Because then that makes it easy for them to basically pull us into an unfavourable situation, or as I would prefer to refer to it, a situation. But, yeah, so there's that. We don't want to be getting into that point. They are about to lose their currywurst, so that's good. And now we get into the cap. This currywurst guy, the man in charge, he seems alright. Seems to be doing okay. I believe he actually does quite well in the post battle results, but we will see about that a bit later. Because I can't remember more specifically. So we're just going to sit here for now and get the cap. And yeah, so that's going to be a few seconds. Not a right lot happens here. We lose our other currywurst. you know, it's tit for tat, really. Swings and roundabouts and so on. Not really a right lot happening at this point in time, so, but 10 seconds and we've got the cap, and this will in fact be a solo cap in a minor. I mean, minor's like pretty stealthy, so it's not really too much of a surprise, I guess. And then we mention to the team about capping C. Now, I make a mistake here, or kind of, so I get caught by the Hindenburg's plane, and I start shooting. Now, I shouldn't have shot. I should have, because I would have gotten undetected when the plane came around, like, circled round. And this mistake costs me, about that much health. So that wasn't, that was not ideal. So, yeah. Fortunately, that Hindem's turning away. I hadn't noticed this at the time, so yeah. There is, however, a Zhao at sea. Fortunately, though, there is not going to be a Zhao at sea for very long. He eats one torp. No, just the one torp, but then gets chunked by what I believe was the. Oh no, the Zhao maybe? Yeah. Something like that. Anyways, he gets chunked by something. And very soon he is going to die, basically. But the thing is, and this is the thing I find absolutely hilarious here, and I will like waffle on a bit now while I wait for it to happen. But so this Zhao got torpedoed. And there we go, man in charge again. Killed the Zhao. He did quite well. He was good. So the Goliath is there. This Goliath never seems to be moving very fast, like really at all. So yeah. So but then this happens. The Shimmy with that same spread of torps got the Montana. Now. How long were those torps spotted for? Oh, well, ever since the Zhao got fucking hit by one. You know. Once a torpedo is spotted, it doesn't get unspotted and all. Like, how did he got by that? I also kind of notice here that the cap is being capped. So B is being capped. Now, as a result of this, don't be too harsh to this Shimmy. He did apologize. So he's good. Normally I would just go in a straight line and eat them, but like this guy actually seems okay. But I kind of jumped to the conclusion that what's it called? That the gearing, their last remaining DD, was in B. Because there's nothing was spotted in that area prior. The closest thing to there was, the Goliath, who never made it in anyways. And then, and he dev strikes a fucking Hindenburg. This guy had a good game. If by any chance, man in charge, you might ever end up watching this, you did good. With that said, I say that too much. With that said, though, it was in fact not the gearing that was in the cap. It was the Smolensk. Now, unfortunately, he is going to leave our hydro range very shortly. So, well, he's outside of our hydro range now, but yeah. He gets spotted briefly. I'm not sure what spotted him there. Oh, probably the Shimmy, actually, yeah. So we come round, and we're kind of expecting torpedoes, but then we have our hydro up, so we'd have seen them by now if if there were. And of course, you can see over there, Waffle currently has 5,000 more health than he needs. So we find the Smolensk. Of course, we do. 1 citadel, 2 citadel. Yeah, no, only 1. Okay, that's kind of surprising. And now we are going to cap B again. Waffle now has 4,618 more health than he needs. How he's, I mean, to be honest, how he's even survived this long is like a surprise to me. So you know, but he's alive still, which is good. Unfortunately, I do believe we are going to lose A. But like we should be okay. So the gearing opens up. On Waffle. He's about to smoke, but the radar gets him. I don't think we get to kill this guy. I think he gets away. Because the big problem at the moment is the currywurst. So, you know, that's not going to be very good for Mr. Waffle here. So we're going to pump some damage into him. And at this point, he's got like 578 health. So 577 more than he needs. However, this isn't going to do him many favors. So we're gonna keep firing on the currywurst. Unfortunately, our torps aren't going to do very much. And unfortunately, we do, in fact, lose Waffle. However, we've got a lot of side to shoot at here. And Mino loves battleship side. So we're just going to keep farming and farming and farming and farming. And we're going to win the game. So, there we have it. Game done and won. We did okay. 90k damage, 4,000, well, nearly 5,000 XP, 1,100 base, 217,000 credits, 1 torpedo hit, 292 shell hits. I think, if memory serves, the reason I replayed this game was because I needed ribbons for one of the pan-European or Swedish destroyer line thing. I've forgotten the word now. The new thing where you do a series of missions. Anyways, I needed ribbons, so that's what this was. 1 torpedo hit, 2 ships sunk, 1 citadel, 2 solo caps, 1 assisted, 2 spotted. All round decent game. Jesus, that's small. Let me just. There we go. That's a bit better. Venezia came top, then the Thunderer, myself. He did well. This guy did good. I did give him a compliment. Waffle, of course. Waffle really should have come a bit higher up, given how well he did. But all things considered, pretty good. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and there will be another video coming up shortly. So with that said, I will go and get that uploaded. I'm gonna love you and leave you, but just before I do go, if you'd like to see more of this content, do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't cost a penny. Maybe give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you didn't, and you do in fact give it a thumbs down, let us know why. Because if it's something I can work on, I will look to fix that as best I can. Of course, if it's something I can't fix, like my voice, for example, then there's not much I can do about that. I'm stuck with it as well. There's not really anything I can do about that. So, but if I can fix it, I will look into it. So just let me know if there is anything you didn't like. If there is anything you did, also let me know. Well, with that said though, if you would also like to see all of the content, you can find me on Twitch. So yeah. Um, as mentioned prior as well, once we do make the 100 followers, we can, or rather will, do like a nice big like fancy stream thing with the what's it called? Like big 12-hour stream. Just purely based on well, time. It might not all be boats. We might do like say 6 hours of boats and then 6 hours of something else. Or we may even just do 12 hours of boats. But we'll see how we get on, like at the time. So if you're not following on Twitch already and you'd like this kind of content and you'd want to see more of it, like as it's happening and not just the cherry picked like fun or good games, you can find me on there. Drop us a follow. It costs the exact same amount as a subscription on YouTube. And I'll see you there. So yeah, I will see you all again next time. Which, in fairness, won't be very long, because there's another one to come from Waffle's point of view. So, I will see you all again next time. Do take care, everyone. Have have yourself a wonderful, morning, evening, night, whatever it does happen to be there. Have yourself a nice day tomorrow as well. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Don't go doing anything silly. And I'll catch you all next time, with some luck. Anyways, I'll see you all then. Bye bye.